this House must appeal. And Honorable Speaker, even with a lay mind, as Senator, my leader, Senator Wambua stated, that is lay to the law, I accept that, but he has eyes and he has ears. And Honorable Speaker, from where I'm seated, I was able to see Senior Counsel Paul Muite, where he was on that day. A number of you maybe had their backs turned to him. And I listened and watched as Senior Counsel representing the former Deputy President say that he did not know where his client was, Honorable Speaker. So, as a Senate, how would we have known where his client was? Honorable Speaker, even in basic absences in schools by pupils and students that are seated here, when they absent themselves from school and say they went to hostels, the administration always expects them to take their books from hospital where they were treated. And I remember in our long history in schools, we would take those exercises books that we as evidence that we were in hostel. So if that can be done in schools and in other institutions, why was it difficult for the representative of the former Deputy President to bring evidence to this House that he was unwell, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, we are paid to sit here by Kenyans. We don't sit here for free. We earn a living from the taxpayers. And even the 50 million that we are expected to use to pay the former Deputy President is taxpayers' money. So Kenyans cannot be taxed twice by paying senators listening to the Deputy President who yes, I accept.
Senator Beatrice, the Speaker has not granted Senator Cherargei the opportunity to inform you. So you proceed to conclude because your time is running out.
Honorable Speaker, what I'm saying...
Hold your information.
Honorable Speaker, what I'm saying is that Kenyans cannot be taxed twice to pay for a criminal who ran away from Parliament. That we as senators, we are seated here listening to him. We are paid for that work. And then the same Kenyans' money would be used to pay him the cost of 50 million. I therefore support your communication, and I end by saying that it was right for the Senate to choose the plenary, because then it was open for everybody. Everybody saw Muite here say.
Thank you, Senator Beatrice Ogola. Senator Wakoli.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii ili kuchangia kuhusiana na mwelekeo ambao tumepewa kuhusiana na mwelekeo wa koti. Mheshimiwa Spika, tuliona hapa mawakili shupavu, mawakili waliobobea katika kutetea washukiwa sugu. Mheshimiwa Spika, katika historia ya Kenya tumeona mshukiwa sugu ambaye stakabadhi zake zilikuwa hapa, na Wakenya tulikuwa tunabukua vitabu tukiduaa tukishangaa. Mheshimiwa Spika, na ni mara ya kwanza kuona mshukiwa mkuu anatoweka kutoka maeneo ya kesi, na mawakili wake pia wameshangaa. Familia yake haijui mweleze nani. Maafisa wa polisi wanaomlinda wamezama. Mheshimiwa Spika, anashangaa sana. Kenya hii ni nchi ya ajabu sana. Mpaka Senate linashtakiwa, tunachochewa, hata baada ya kumngatua tunaambiwa tumlipe pesa kama dawa ya brufen. Yaani augue polepole. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni jambo la kushangaza sana, na inadhihirika wazi kwamba makosa ya huyu shukiwa sugu yalikuwa makosa makubwa sana. Na mimi naomba Wakenya, stakabadhi ziko wazi. Kando na kudai tu kumpa haki, jumba la Senate, Mheshimiwa Spika, tukubali hizi nakala zilizoletwa hapa bunge na madai na ushahidi tuwape Wakenya basi. Tuwape Wakenya, weke kwa magazeti ndio wajue hata tulikuwa na moyo wa utu. Yaani tumzibe uchi, tufunike uchi wake tu, lakini aende. Na wale ambao wako naye katika koti hawajui wanatembea na nani. Yule ni mnyama mwitu ambaye amevaa ngozi ya kondoo, Mheshimiwa Spika. So sisi kama jumba la Senate tutasimama imara. Naomba nimruhusu ndugu yangu
Senator Wakoli, do you want to be informed by the senator from Nandi?
Huyu ni wakili shupavu kupambana na wale sugu, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Very well, Senator Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, on a point of information, this is a country where a member of parliament abducted themselves. So when the former impeached deputy president ran away, he was borrowing from a classic book of where a sitting member of parliament self-abducted himself. So we were worried with such behaviors, Mr. Speaker. I wish to inform my brother Omwami, Senator Wakoli.
Senator Wakoli, conclude.
Ni bunge la kitaifa ambalo wabunge wanajiteka nyara, na katika maeneo ya utekaji nyara
Give him 30 seconds to conclude.
Mashukiwa wanajiteka nyara, wanaita vyombo vya habari, wanatoa hotuba katika misitu, katika hospitali. Na huyu wetu Mheshimiwa Spika, nashangaa sana. Ati naibu wa rais, namuombea Mheshimiwa Rais afya nzuri, aliumia sana kuongoza nchi na sugu kama huyu, Mheshimiwa Spika. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Hamida Kibwana.
Bwana Spika, asante kwa kunipa nafasi. Hata mimi nataka kuunga mkono mawasiliano ya Bwana Spika. Kusema kweli tunaheshimu maamuzi ya mahakama, lakini hatukubali ya kuwa former rais deputy president Gachagua hakupewa nafasi na seneti. Kusema kweli tulivumilia sana masaa hapa na tukawa waungwana kuweza kumsikiza, lakini nafikiria aliona atafanya ile inaitwa kipindi, na hiyo kipindi kwa slang wanaita kipindre. Akatufanyia kipindi na ili kutufanya sisi wajinga. Sisi tukakubaliana nayo na mambo yakaisha, lakini leo tunashangaa sisi baada ya kuwa waungwana wavumilivu, haya mambo yanarudi kwetu. Na ile nashangaa Bwana Spika ni kuwa mahakama makuu yenyewe imethibitisha kwa mchakato ule uliofanywa hapa seneti uliidhinishwa na uamuzi wa seneti kumuondoa ofisini na ukawa wa halali. Sasa je, itakuwaje tumetupiwa tena sisi ya kuwa tuweze kumlipa sisi faini hali mtu mwenyewe aliweza kufanya mambo yake? Kwa hivyo mimi naunga mkono hiyo mawasiliano na hiyo faini. Nitaweza kusema sisi kusema kweli kama seneti hatufai kulipa sisi faini, manake yeye mwenyewe aliweza kufanya mambo yake, na pia ilikuwa ni aibu kwa mawakili wake wenyewe walishangaa. Na kama vile bwana Senator Cherargei anasema kama kuna watu hapa waliweza kuweza kumadvise, ilikuwa sio advice nzuri ya yeye kufanya vile alifanya. Kwa hivyo Bwana Spika, mimi naunga mkono mawasiliano ya Spika ya kuwa hiyo fine si ya kwetu, na ilithibitishwa kuwa sisi chochote kile kiliendelea seneti ilikuwa ni cha halali. Kwa hivyo itakuwaje ya halali alafu sasa ya haramu sisi tulipe sisi hiyo ya haramu ya 50,000? Tunakataa nayo Bwana Spika, na yangu ni kusema tuendelee mbele, tuweze kuappeal, tuweze kukata rufaa ili hayo mambo yaweze kusikizwa vizuri. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Hamida, it is 50 million, not 50,000, and that is correct.
Milioni 50 Bwana Spika. Hiyo ni pesa milioni 50. Haiwezekani. Asante Bwana Spika.
Now, honorable senators, that brings us to an end to your comments on the communication that came from the Speaker. And we shall, of course, as directed by that communication, undertake the appropriate steps to make sure that we protect the dignity, sanctity, and the authority of this House by preferring an appeal against that particular decision. Nonetheless, we will resume the order paper for today, and before the communication we were dealing with, I believe, order number 23. Clerk, you could call for the resumption of a debate on the motion under Standing Order 23.
Order number 23, motion, consideration of the report of the Mediation Committee on the Food and Feed Safety Control Coordination Bill, National Assembly Bills, and number 21 of 2023.
Just hold, Senator Wakoli. The Speaker will guide you shortly. Very well, Senator. I see from my dashboard there are requests to contribute to this motion. I have Senator Mariam, who is not in the chamber, Senator Beatrice Ogola. Okay, you seconded the motion. Very well. Then, Honorable Senators, there being no other member interested in contributing to this motion, I will call upon the mover to reply. Senator Wakoli, don't tempt the Speaker to take action against use of mobile phones.
Our good esteemed Speaker, thank you for your good heart of forgiveness. I hereby seek your indulgence. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 663, I request that I say that I have heard the concerns of honorable members, and I want to agree that county government are an integral part of ensuring that devolution is meeting the expected outcome to our people. This bill, Honorable Speaker, has space, has room to ensure that the aspirations of the bill are met and that county governments continue to play the role that they are supposed to play. Honorable Speaker, this bill will equally transit to the delegation, the team, the committee that deals with the delegated rules, regulations, and laws, Honorable Speaker. And this is where the rubber meets the road, where the fine-tuning of the various aspects of this bill will be done, and thereafter cascaded down to county governments, the way we had at the national level the Public Service Commission, and which inducted and trained the public service boards at the county level to continue doing the professional work. So I want to encourage members that all is not lost, and this is a new practice in this country where various arms of government are coming together to ensure we meet an expected outcome. And therefore, by that doing, the county governments will be roped in, will be invited, and we will walk the journey with them as Senate to ensure that this bill speaks to the needs, expectations, and the demands of the labor, of the market, international market, and the local market. Our members, honorable members, should know that as the Committee of Agriculture, we have always invited KEFIS, we have invited the Minister of Health to look at the poisonous food potatoes in Rift Valley, to look at the problem of maize in your county, Honorable Speaker, and it showed very clearly that unless these arms of government in the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade come together, synergize, and polish legislation, we will always limp and run in the dark. And therefore, this bill provides an opportunity for all these arms to come and polish their act and make it practicable to the people, so that the people do not subscribe and get permits everywhere. Because you understand, Honorable Speaker, some of the governors are overtaxing our people. Their so-called kanjos are everywhere collecting money, but the people are not seeing the value. So this institution, once organized properly, will have its replicas at the county level, but they have their mother body that will always guide and ensure that as devolution is strengthened and empowered, the institutions will equally do the same. And therefore, pursuant to Standing Order 63, I request that we're putting the question should be deferred, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Wakoli, it's 66-3. If I heard you right, you said 63. It should be
663.
Standing Order 66-3.
Yes, 66.
Very well. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 66-3, putting of the question is hereby deferred to the next sitting. Now, Honorable Senators, before we move to the next order, I will proceed to rearrange for the convenience of the business of the House today. And the rearrangement of the order for today takes us to order number 30. Clerk, call out order number 30.
Order number 30, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Energy on inquiry into the shortage of smart energy meters in Kenya and the potential for their local manufacturing.
Honorable Senators, this is to the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Energy. Senator Kisang, proceed to move the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Energy on inquiry into shortage of smart energy meters in Kenya and the potential for the local manufacturing laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 11 June 2025, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to its mandate under Standing Order 228 subsection 3 to investigate, inquire into, and report on all matters relating to the mandate, management activities, administration, and operations of its assigned ministries and departments, the Standing Committee on Energy at its sitting held in October 2023 resolved to initiate an inquiry into the ongoing shortage of smart energy meters in Kenya and the visibility of promoting local manufacturing of these devices, Honorable Speaker. This decision followed serious concerns raised by the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, PPRA, regarding alleged irregularities in the award of Kenya shillings 2.9 billion smart meters tender 2 MS Alay Barry Limited, which had been recommended by the State Department for Energy, raising questions on transparency, competitiveness, and adherence to the Public Procurement and Disposal Act of 2015. Honorable Speaker, the committee also took note of structural challenges in the metering sector, including the absence of clear standards, regulatory frameworks for smart meters, high borrowing costs for potential local manufacturers, and the proliferation of counterfeit meters in the market, all of which undermine reliability, consumer protection, and the country's broader energy sector reform agenda, Honorable Speaker. Additionally, the committee was concerned about the use of framework agreements under Section 114 of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, which, if not properly designed, Honorable Speaker, and implemented, may be used in a manner that weakens competitive procurement and reduces transparency in large-scale meter acquisitions, which can lead into corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in this regard, the inquiry was guided by 4 key issues. 1, to interrogate the procurement process surrounding the award of the smart meter tender to Ave Barry Limited, to assess compliance with the Public Procurement and Disposal Act of 2015, 3, to examine the visibility and viability of promoting local manufacturing of smart energy meters. And this will help in creating employment opportunities for our youth, Honorable Speaker. And also to propose strategic policy measures to reform KPLC procurement systems and strengthen regulatory oversight for transparency, accountability, and efficiency in the energy sector. Honorable Speaker, accordingly, the committee held several sittings with key stakeholders, including the Principal Secretary for Public Works through the supplies branch, because they cited a section of the supplies branch to give this particular company the tender to supply smart meters, Honorable Speaker, without going through procurement process. And this is an old law of 1952. Kenya Power and Lighting Company, the African Smart Meters Association, and the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, and further received written submissions from Dedan Kimathi University of Technology. Honorable Speaker, the committee further noted a framework agreement was adopted for a tender valued at approximately 2.9 billion, implemented through a call-off orders with units of 9,000 Kenya shillings 9,150 for single-phase meters and 15,890 for three-phase meters, culminating in the supply of over 320,000 meters between October 2023 and February 2024. Honorable Speaker, on the question of local manufacturing, the committee observed that Kenya stands at the strategic point where there is emerging assembly capacity and strong interest from local industry, the absence of comprehensive regulatory framework, and approved technical standards by the Energy and Regulatory Authority, PBRA. So this is where we are saying there are some caps in terms of setting up standards to assist the local manufacturers to manufacture, because it will be of benefit if we use local manufacturers to supply smart meters to Kenya Power. Honorable Speaker, the committee also noted that the high capital cost associated with end-to-end smart meter manufacturing, coupled with elevated borrowing costs, have made it difficult for local firms to compete with imported products, thereby limiting technology transfer, local value addition, and job creation in the energy technology value chain. Honorable Speaker, in view of these findings, the committee also made far-reaching recommendations aimed at restoring integrity in smart meter procurement and catalyzing a viable local manufacturing ecosystem. This includes requiring KPLC to revert smart meter procurement to its internal procurement and supply chain department in strict compliance with the law, and mandating IBRA to establish and publish robust pre-qualification framework for smart meter supplies anchored on quality, technical capacity, and local content. Honorable Speaker, the committee further recommends that KPLC should transition towards a decentralized smart meter acquisition model, allowing customers to procure meters from IBRA-approved suppliers. Honorable Speaker, we are saying when you are putting up a house and you do wiring, you get an electrician who is already certified by KPLC, you should be able to go to any shop, you can go to any hardware. As you buy your other electrical issues, you can also buy a meter. So that, we don't have to get expensive meters from Kenya Power. It takes time. Sometimes, Honorable Speaker, customers wait for ages. When REREC does last mile connectivity in our rural constituencies, Honorable Speaker, they wait even for 6 to 10, even only, Honorable Speaker, before the energize because of lack of meters. So, but if this one is decentralized and liberalized, it will be easy for consumers to buy meters from any shop, Honorable Speaker, so long as the standards have been set and certified by IBRA, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the committee also further recommends that KPLC should transition, as I had said, to decentralized meter acquisition model, allowing customers to procure meters from IBRA-approved suppliers with installation by licensed technicians, and verification by Kenya Power, thereby promoting competition, widening market participation, reducing single buyers risk, and also eventually reduce the cost. Because if there's competition, basically prices will come down. To support local manufacturing and industrial development, the committee proposes that the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, IBRA, and the National Treasury put in place clear national standards, targeted initiatives, and financing instruments to move the country from meter assembly to full-scale manufacturing in partnership with universities and technical institutions as centers of research, innovation, and skills development. Honorable Speaker, this is, we visited several farms that were doing assembly of smart meters. But you'll realize, Honorable Speaker, these particular companies, they were basically importing almost everything from China, from Europe, and then they just come and assemble. So basically there's no manufacturing that's taking place. They just coming to put these things together and sell. But we are saying we need to support them so that the raw materials, it can be manufactured here in Kenya, they do manufacturing itself, and eventually this will boost the economy, it will reduce prices, it will create a lot of employment for our youth, and then eventually it will spur the economic growth of this country. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, this report provides a timely roadmap to address the immediate smart meter shortage, correct weaknesses in procurement practice, and lay the foundation for competitive, locally anchored smart metering industry that supports Kenya's energy transition and digital economy. Honorable Speaker, this is very important because, and it's timely, because with the affordable houses that are coming up, Honorable Speaker, we will need so many meters. We need to energize and supply power to very many homes. And this will not be possible if we don't encourage locally manufactured smart meters, Honorable Speaker. And this will also help Kenya Power. They don't have to go to the homes to read the meters. Basically, they'll be able to disconnect automatically from the offices, reconnect automatically when the customers pay, or use also the tokens, where basically you buy just like airtime that we buy from our phones. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and request my colleague, able Senator Beatrice Okola, to second the motion.
Senator Beatrice Ogola, proceed to second the motion.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to second this motion on the report of the Standing Committee of Energy on the inquiry into the shortage of smart meters, energy meters. Honorable Speaker, all of us in our communities and with the public deal with the issue of shortage of meters. And this shortage, Honorable Speaker, has led to a number of harassment of members of the public. I frequently see a number of small businesses, people running here and there because of this shortage of meters. And one wonders, Honorable Speaker, what happens? Because at some other time, it becomes criminal when a number of people are arrested by the KPLC policing unit, once because they have meters that don't belong to them, and one wonders because a number of these people have no knowledge of even how to fix some of these meters or even where they get them from. And so a number of, we have a lot of fraud cases, Honorable Speaker. Just the last other week I was at home and a young man comes running to me that they have been arrested and it is issues involving meters. And Honorable Speaker, a number of recommendations that have been given in this report is a cure to a number of those challenges that I've just referred to. Honorable Speaker, as I second this motion, I want to lay emphasis on what the movers indicated on local manufacturing. Honorable Speaker, in this country, we used to have something called Agenda 4, and manufacturing was critical to the Agenda 4 in this republic, coupled with housing that His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, is moving to another level, and Kenyans, including the doubting Kenyans, can see the houses physically. And soon, Kenyans, if organized properly, will be living in dignity, including a number of job seekers who still may not have enough money to rent houses when they leave colleges. Honorable Speaker, the issue of local manufacturing and industry development has been exhaustively discussed in this report. The only thing that we have to look at, and of course which has been mentioned, is the issue of putting into place clear standards. When we promote local manufacturing, there must be standards that must be met. And then we have also to put incentives that will motivate our people into the manufacturing space. And of course, there's been a mention of financing mechanism. Honorable Speaker, this report addresses the issue of integrity too. Of course, the report deals with a procurement issue that was there. And Honorable Speaker, this was a procurement of a tender to the tune of 2.9 billion. Honorable Speaker, by this committee coming up with this report, they are addressing key issues of transparency, key issues of competitiveness, and the issue of doing due diligence. That is according to the procurement laws. So, Honorable Speaker, I second this report, as I also indicate that EPRA seems to have a very huge mandate in this country. And so we must also find a way of enhancing EPRA, and the EPRA itself has to enhance itself by broadening its strategies so that they are able to reach the old nation. Honorable Speaker, I second.
Senator Kisang, take your seat, or take the nearest seat next to you. Now, Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Energy on inquiry into the shortage of smart energy meters in Kenya and the potential for their local manufacturing, laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 11th of June, 2025. Now, members, this motion and report is therefore available for debate, and I will call upon Senator Samson Cherargei to make his contributions to the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to make a comment. You have said rightly on this report on the inquiry of the shortage of smart energy meters and possibility of local manufacturing. While I commend the Vice Chair of Energy and the membership, they have done well on the second question, but they have not given us headway on the first aspect. Because the issue was to give us the aspect of shortage, the legality, and viability, whether there was violation of the law in terms of public procurements processes, Mr. Speaker, sir. So on part 2, I agree with them as a country that we must look at the local manufacturing. And Mr. Speaker, the committee has hesitated to point out that the award of this company called Halle Berry, it's like Halle Berry, of a tender worth 2.9 billion, in the supply of smart meters, from the reading of the report and from the interactions of minutes and meetings that has been done by the committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, it looks like this was a direct procurement contrary to the law. Mr. Speaker, this award of 2.9, only the reasoning that the stakeholders appeared before the committee was because Ali Bandley, Mr. Speaker, award of 2.9 billion smart tender was because they had it in their warehouse. Mr. Speaker, the reading of Article 227(1) of the Constitution is very clear on public procurement. And it is very clear that is procurement of public goods and services. Article 271, when a state organ or any other public entity contracts for goods and services or services, it shall do so in accordance with the system that is fair, equitable, transparent, competitive, and cost-effective. It does not say when they have availability. Therefore, and in fact, some of us, I would have requested the committee, this is a classic case of corruption. Because the work of awarding of smart meter tenders was done by the ministry through supplies and chains, Mr. Speaker, by Kenya, instead of Kenya Power. It was done by State Department for Energy. And we are aware energy of, Mr. Speaker, you remember there were issues of procurement irregularities, issues of corruption. In fact, this was a clear case of corruption. Because in fact, instead of Kenya Power and Lighting Company doing the award of the tender, it went ahead a new State Department of Energy, Mr. Speaker, to procure, which is a clear violation of the law. Article 227(1) is very clear that it must be transparent, it must be cost-effective, it must, and looking at the committee proceedings, Mr. Speaker, the award to Halle Barry, Mr. Speaker, is not very clear. It looks like this was corruption, Mr. Speaker, and even you read at the report when Kenya Power and Lighting Company appeared, they justified that because they wanted to open and decentralize the award of smart meters in the country, be single phase or three phase, Mr. Speaker, they must now allow other people to do it. That is how it is done, Mr. That is how corruption is done. Because if Kenya Power and Lighting Company did not give award, and as per the law, but the State Department of Energy went ahead to give out without any legal recourse, Mr. Speaker, is a clear violation of Article 227(1), Mr. Speaker, and even Article and the Public Procurement and Disposal Act as provided by the law. And myself, I want to request the committee through the Vice Chair, although he's technically the Chair, Senator Kisang, to further investigate these 2.9 billion. To me, if it works, quacks, smiles, or crackle, Mr. Speaker, that's a dark, Mr. Speaker. That's a dark for us. It is corruption, Mr. Speaker. So we must be told this 2.9 billion, and it is important, and I want to thank the committee, Mr. Speaker, because they even provided how the various companies that had been given award to supply smart meter, Mr. Speaker, in this report, they have gone ahead and indicated that these are the number of meters that have been given, Mr. Speaker, in their reports. Even when you look at their report, Mr. Speaker, they have highlighted that a number of them, so there is no justification of direct procurement or a direct award of 2.9 billion under the State Department of Energy instead of KPLC as usual award tenders, and that is page 15. When you look at page 15, Mr. Speaker, you can see the summary of 4 farms with tender supply 7,111,740 meters with a contract of 2-year period of single phase, Mr. Speaker, and these amounts to around 7,740 smart meters. Like Smart Meter Technology Limited was given 314,440, Magnet Ventures Limited was given 164,500, Inhimita Africa Company Limited 128,000, Yohakshin Group Limited was given 104,800, Mr. Speaker. So the report has gone itself to justify that they were companies that were competitively awarded. But we don't know what is special about Burnley Halley Company Limited that he was given a tender of 2.9 billion. Mr. Speaker, this does not look right, and while I agree with the recommendations of the committee on the other aspects, they must tell us, you know, Mr. Speaker, corruption, if you don't follow the law, and you are a senior practitioner of the law, you cannot regularize an irregularity without following due rest of the law. Even if State Department of Energy would say today they was cost effective, they didn't lose any money. But the fact that there was an irregular process of acquiring public goods, contrary to Article 2271, Mr. Speaker, some of us would think otherwise. And therefore, I want to appeal to the Senator Kesang, the mover and the vice chair of that committee, to still relook at this aspect of 2.9 billion that was specifically awarded to this company. Yet he had indicated that there were other 4 farm companies that had been indicated. So Speaker, this is a fairly quick report, and then even committee, they have raised a number of procurement processes. I think I have touched on that, Mr. Speaker. Quality and quantity, I agree. But how it started, we don't. I agree there could be quality and quantity issues that was as in Burnley and warehouse, but how this thing, the process on how it was awarded, some of us, Mr. Speaker, and you know the issue of Kenya Power. We had a few years ago, there was a scandal of smart meters where there was allegation that smart meters or meters of Kenya Power and Lighting Company and even water companies through non-revenue of collection waters had been tampered with. And you remember a few years, it was you and cry when Kenya Power and Lighting Company, Mr. Speaker, were raising the aspect of doctoring or tampering with the meters of Kenya Power and Lighting, Mr. Speaker, where we're having illegal connection of electricity in some of these places. Mr. Speaker, this has caused a lot of loss. It has caused non-performance in terms of Kenya Power and Lighting. While we say Kenya Power and Lighting has a lot of challenges, Mr. Speaker, I know maybe Bomet is a bit better. I went to a place in Kipsamoite. The Kenya Power brought a transformer. For the last 4 years, they have never replaced or made it functional, Mr. Speaker. So while we appreciate Kenya Power and Lighting have a lot of challenges, you see poles, you see contractors, Mr. Speaker, you see electricity being supplied, but Kenya Power and Lighting do not provide smart meters in time or generators, Mr. Speaker. And of course, the frequent blackouts. I have had a discussion with many businessmen and women in this country, because this issue of smart meters boils down also to the functionality of Kenya and Power Lighting Company. That one of the biggest threats to ease of doing business in Kenya is the frequent blackouts by Kenya and Power and Lighting Company. And Mr. Speaker, you know, in the past, when we used to have what we call electricity rationing, it was because of it is dry season. Because most of our power is generated through hydroelectricity, Mr. Speaker. So but now it is raining, there is El Nino coming on the way, Mr. Speaker. This should not be the reason that there is instability of power in this country. And that is why even a few months ago or a few weeks ago, Mr. Speaker, we were pushing that we need to diversify. We need to bring the issue of solar energy. We need to bring even the issue of nuclear energy. I know there is one that is supposed to be set up in Siaya County, for example, so that we can ensure there is stability. And Mr. Speaker, the cost of electricity is also quite unsustainable. And I want to thank the President through the Ministry of Energy. I saw they stood down an increment of cost of electricity through the Ministry of Energy, and that was impressive. We want to say that will go a long way in terms of domestic and industrial use so that we don't discourage the usage. So my final comment on this procurement of 2.9 billion smart meters to the specific company, to me reading this committee, this is a direct procurement contrary to the law, contrary to the Constitution, contrary to Public Procurement Disposal Act, and contrary to Public Finance and Management Act of the Republic of Kenya. On the issue of local manufacturing, I agree. Mr. Speaker, we have Tatu City, we have Konza. Why should we procure, you know, Mr. Speaker, the other day we were arguing that we are even importing pencils and rubbers. These are things, Mr. Speaker, matchsticks, these smart meters, many things. There is Konza cities, Mr. Speaker. And I know the vision of His Excellency the President is quite clear, it's crystal clear. Even as he goes around the world to look for partners, he was in Belgium, today is Norway, Mr. Speaker, in Oslo. I know probably in the coming weeks he's among the only African heads of state to attend G20 meeting hosted in France by President Macron to look for partners. And I know the intention of the president is to operationalize CIPes, County Integrated and County Industrial and Aggregation Parks. This will allow the aggregation, the issue of industrialization, the cottage industry, Mr. Speaker. I agree with the committee that we must boost our, it is embarrassing, Mr. Speaker, to import smart meters into this country. We can do better, Mr. Speaker. In the 90s, although I was not, I was still very, very young, if you read the history of this country, there is what we call Nyayo era manufacturing of vehicles. In 90s, if Kenya had gone ahead and even thought of manufacturing a vehicle called Nyayo, Mr. Speaker, you know, we should be by far being the mega industry hub in Eastern Central Africa, Mr. Speaker. So by 90s, we were doing Nyayo vehicles, and now we can't even produce smart meters for usage in our electricity. Mr. Speaker, it will continue to hamper even the supply of rural electricity. The last mile connectivity that His Excellency the President, I am happy in Nandi, for example, we got more than 1.3 billion for all Nandi County to supply the last mile connectivity electricity. But every household needs those smart meters so that we don't have cases where Kenya and Power and Lighting do not make losses courtesy of non-availability. So, and we have universities, Mr. Speaker. You remember even during the laptop issue, I think Moi University was given the lead to manufacture the laptop issues, Mr. Speaker. Even I wish that Bomet University, where you come from, should be a hub of manufacturing of smart meters, Mr. Speaker. Because Bomet people are technologically advanced. I'm saying with this in mind with the Mulot. If you get people who are doing what they are doing in Mulot, for example, in Bomet, your county, Mr. Speaker, it looks those people are smart naturally. If they can do their things up there and fix one or two, it is not for us to fix smart meters at Bomet University in your own county. Of course, we have more university, we have KU, we have the University of Nairobi, Mr. Speaker. So I don't see the need why we should still import smart meters into this country. And even, Mr. Speaker, as we manufacture smart meters, we must tie up with the issue of eco-friendly, the issue of environmental preservation and conservation, so that, and EPRA, Mr. Speaker, they need also to up their game, because in the report, the energy EPRA lacked approved standards for smart meters. So how can they be importing? How do we know that the smart meters meet the standard? If the EPRA, and I know EPRA is facing a lot of challenges, especially after that scandal of fuel issues, fuel adulteration, pricing of fuel, I think EPRA, many Kenyans should know that EPRA goes beyond only regularization of prices. They have an obligation to ensure that they give us standards, and also